Okay guys, so now we have part 2 of this series. Today what we're going to be doing is installing the amp and the DSP. So what that's going to require is we're going to have to pull out the whole interior. Going to have to figure out a way that we're going to mount the amp and the DSP and all the stuff into the car, and then we're going to have to wire it all up and then put the interior back in. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoy it. So here's just a little progress of us removing the equipment that was in here. I had this Jensen Power 760.4. You know, it got the job done, but the thing would overheat and, you know, it's just not a super high quality product. But I've had the thing for over a decade. We had these JBLs in there. Again, pick these up at like Walmart or Best Buy or something. And then it was all on this platform that I built, kind of like that. So we're just in the process of pulling all that out. You can see once you start doing that, you end up with like a rat's nest of wires, but this will be all nice and clean eventually once we get it all put back in there. So here's some progress we're making. Got the whole interior of this car pulled out, including my rat's nest from that other 4-channel amp. One thing that's nice is I already got all these speaker wires run, so I won't have to do that again. But anyway, what the plan is going to be, this is the driver's side here. I'm going to put the DSP and the bass processor under this seat, and then the JP84 under that seat. Now, this is going to pose a problem, I think. So we're going to have to remove this, which should be pretty easy. It's only held on right here and then right there. So I think a cutting wheel ought to take that off. And then what I want to do is put a piece of wood or MDF down here, glue it to this. That way when I put the carpet back over it, I have something to mount to. I tried running some threaded inserts over on that side, but it just didn't work out real well, so I don't want to do that again. And I had to remove some of this. Oh my, that stuff is not designed to come off. Good Lord. That was a process in and of itself. So that's the plan. And then I'll just kind of take you guys through it as I'm doing it. So what I've done here is I've sanded this surface. I've just roughed it up with some really low grit paper there. And what I have is this. So I'm going to glue this into place with this. Then that way when I put my carpet on over this, this will give me something. I'm going to put another platform here, and that'll get on top of the carpet, I mean. Then that'll give me something to mount everything to that's nice and sturdy. All right, so car's been sitting overnight. Let me show you what we did to it. So I showed you guys that we glued those boards down. I put these dumbbells on top to hold it down. They've been sitting all night. It didn't get very warm last night, so I'm worried. Yeah, that still needs to set up some. So what we're gonna do is I have 25-pound like Olympic plates, the flat ones. We're gonna put those on there, put the seats back in, and then drive it around like this today, because I gotta go to work and I need my car. So the sacrifices you make to have a banging system, I guess. I don't know. So we'll see. It'll get warmer throughout the day, and then hopefully by the end of the day this glue will be set up. So you remember I took this piece of plywood here and then glued it down. That's nice and dry. I mean, it's been drying all week. That's not going anywhere. That's cured. And then what I have is this platform that I made, rounded the edges over. Gonna end up carpeting this probably, but this is gonna go down here like that, and then this will give me something to bite when I screw that in place like that. See, you can already see that side's done. And then I'll have plenty of room to mount my DSP and my bass processor on that side, and then my 4-channel amp on this side. So coming along. Okay, so we've got the interior ready to go back in this thing. Got our 4-channel wired up, got all the wires where I need them. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, the carpet needs to go back in, seats, everything else. A really good practice to get into is to wire the whole thing up to see if it works before you put the interior back in it. I did do that, and it was a good idea because I was having some trouble with the sequencer on this thing. It was really weird. I don't know if my high level to low level was not working properly or what, but the sequencer would actually come on with the car off. That makes no sense to me. I don't know why that was happening. If anybody has used a DSP like this in the past, this particular one, and that was happening to you and you know why, please let me know. But what I did, I just bypassed the whole thing and hardwired it. See, I have my power and my remote on one. This is coming right off the fuse box that's tucked under there. You can't see it, but it's under, yeah, it's coming right off my fuse box. And then it runs to a switch right here. So then when I turn this on, hit that switch, this powers up, then the remote turns it on, then the other remote goes over to the amp, turns it on. So I turn my whole system on with this switch. And then it just bypassed the whole sequencer thing altogether. doing, now that I know everything works, I've got to disconnect it all. And I highly recommend, as you do that, label everything. See, this is the DSP in. These are my 4 channels going out, various power wires. Label everything. That way, when you put the interior back in here and you pull this bundle of wires through the hole in your carpet, you know what it all is. You don't just have these random cords that you can't remember where they go. I did the same over here. Labeled everything. That way all I have to do is put it back where it goes. Anyway, this thing's finally coming along. I'm hoping to have the interior back in the car today. Now, this will give you guys a little bit more idea about how I had those platforms set up. Remember the wood platform? I carpeted them, and then all I did, now remember, there is that 1x4 that's glued to the sheet metal. I put the carpet over the 1x4, then pulled out all my wires, then took the carpeted platform and just ran a screw down into it. See, now this is not, like, that is sturdy. That's not going anywhere. That's like attached to the car. Now I can mount anything to this I want. Same with that side. Pulled all the wires through, got my platform, good to go. Okay guys, we are finally done. Got everything in place. So here are the processors, all them wires tucked up nice and neat. There's that JP84. Again, everything's tucked up nice and neat. Looks good, looks nice and factory. Got my control panel. Now if I hit this switch, everything powers on. So just another quick little, just kind of show you guys that a lot of times this kind of thing just doesn't go the way that you plan. So you can see, oops, got a little, to get this to fit in here, I had to shave this because it did go all the way down. Well, then that got in the way. Same thing on this side. You can see like this came all the way down normally, but I had to cut that off. Now I could just use a razor blade, and I did that. Now you can see the same exact thing on the other side. So you had to cut that corner there and then right there. So it's just one of those things where, you know, you go to putting this together and you realize, like, you know, stuff that's aftermarket or retrofitted to the car, you always have to do some level of modification, whether it's a lot or not very much. I don't really feel like that's very dramatic, but there's always something. I mean, there's always something. Like here, drilling holes in your dash. Just, you know, and this, like these two switches, there was little holes cut out for these. Naturally, the holes weren't big enough, so I had to trim that out. You know, it's just always something that you have to do to get this kind of stuff to fit and to work right. Just take a little bit of extra time to get it done, and then it comes out looking really good. I mean, I think that looks pretty clean under there. Now, I've seen some guys do way better job with their wiring and whatnot, but hey, you know, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. It looks good. So anyway, finally got this thing put back together after about a week of having it pulled apart. So anyway, there it is. All right, guys, very happy with the way that this is turning out so far. We finally got everything wired up, got the interior back in the car, as you guys saw. Now we got one final step. We got to take those Gravity Warzone coaxial horn speakers do an unboxing on those, put them in the car, and then the thing will be done. So again, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like the video, dislike it, comment, subscribe. And as always, have a good day. Play your music loud.